Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Attack on Titan Season 4 Episode 24. So this episode we're finally getting to see what Hanji and Levi have been up to. I don't imagine much. I imagine it's just recuperating Levi a bit, healing him up. I don't think he's going to be ready for battle anytime soon. I think he's kind of out for the count for the kind of final battle right now. There's a really fun opportunity here with Hanji, Peak and McGaff and Levi to all have a talk here, and this will be really interesting just to see where this conversation goes, and hopefully they can realize, there's a bigger problem here that they need to take care of first before they start fighting amongst themselves again, And I think this episode we will also probably see maybe the start of this conflict that's happening with Armin and Connie, trying to convince Connie not to feed Falco to his mum. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Falco is going to stick around for now, but it will definitely be an emotional moment, I hope. So before we jump into it, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find 1 week early access to other shows. Of course, with this, I'll upload them ASAP. You can also find full-length timer-based reactions where you can just sync up your own footage and polls so you can vote for what's next. So let's just jump right in. Okay, Hanji's shooting them and crying because they were chasing her down. Yeah, they were the Jaegerists. Yeah, she doesn't even have any medical equipment, so she just had to use her scout uniform. Oh no, she does. Okay. Huge scars across his face. I feel like there's still so much we don't know about the Ackermans. I wonder if his eye will be okay, because it looked like it went right across his eye there. And Pixis is gone as well. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking she must have heard the rumbling at some point. I've seen all the memes, people saying they want to see Levi animated topless for this episode. Oh wow, yeah, his fingers. Yeah, Zeke is almost like this white whale for Levi now. Yeah. Levi knows them by name. He's absorbed him. We did kind of see that before.
Kyojin 博士のハンジさんなら何でもわかるようですね。
It's been nice for Hanji hearing it from a Titan, how knowledgeable she is. Pride, okay. Is this about Connie's pride or someone else's pride? Okay, Gabby's coming with Armin as well. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the moral conflict is coming in here. He knows. Oh, so he's pieced it together a bit. You put the tarp over it so there's no sunlight for her. No, there's no movement at all. Can she even bite down on him? Is he just gonna push him in from up there? Is Armin gonna threaten to kill the Mum Titan? Oh, is he gonna say he's gonna sacrifice himself?
何するつもりだ
I'll do it instead of Falco.
アルビーさっき喋るなって言っただろ行動で示せよ
Show through action. Yeah, Connie's gonna save him, definitely. But the mum was ready to bite there. But I feel like Armin kind of knew that that Connie would save him, right? Oh yeah, he's finding out about Colt as well.
超大型巨人を継承してな。そうなりゃ母ちゃんを苦しめるって考えりゃわかること。
Yeah, make her suffer more.
と友達を殺すかもしれなかった。そんな兵士になっちまったんだ。
Yeah, what would she think hearing, oh, I had to kill a child to bring you back, you know?
俺は母ちゃんに誇れる兵士。困ってる人を助けに行こう。
How are they gonna do that though? How are they gonna go up against Eren?
嬉しいです。
Oh, so she did have it.
それともこのマフラ
Yeah, what was she actually looking for?
あなたに近づけると思って。
She's almost obsessed with Mikasa, isn't she? I guess, you know, Mikasa is the one who saved her all that time ago, but...
エンイェーガーの作る自由な世界を見ることができなくて、歌に憧れて兵士になりました。心臓を捧げて生きたのですから。
So Mikasa doesn't even care. She just walks off before Louis can even finish what she was saying. Oh, okay. So they've cleared Shigenshina, but... So Jean is there, behind Flock. I feel like he's maybe pretending to go along with what Flock's saying, so at some point he can betray him. Yeah, see, look, he's not saluting, is he?
しかし本当なのかアルミン。
すべての硬質化が解かれた。兄が復活した可能性も。
I wasn't expecting it to be this comedic. Suddenly showing up like this. I mean, she hadn't eaten in 4 years, yeah. Oh. No. George's just gonna turn and shoot Flock, isn't he? Wasn't Yonkapon done though? He didn't even know that, did he? It's crazy seeing how manipulated everyone is. His homeland's gonna be destroyed anyway, yeah.
俺の家族は皆殺しだ。悪い排外主義者のクズ野郎どもか。
Yeah.
こびてまで生きるほどの価値はなっちゃう。
We're not seeing it. There was more than 2 shots there, yeah.
おい。しまった。外した。
Is he out of bullets as well now? Oh! No, 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 no. Why would he save Flock? It ate Jean and Yelena, but I don't think Peak actually ate them. Oh, was it a signal? When did they get together and plan all of this? So they're working with Peak and McGaff as well. There must have been a little time skip here, like a day or 2, just so they could plan all of this. Who's watching? Yeah, of course.
人がしないの？
失礼ですよ。女性に対し。地位は安泰のはずなのに。
Love the lighting here, the reflections.
骨の燃えかすが俺を許してくれねえんだよ。じゃん。
Some great quotes this episode as well.
まあ引き渡せって。
Because she knows all about Zeke, yeah.
起きな。
And he's going to be the first one he sees.
安心してください。みんな味方です。
All working together after all of this time and everything they've been through.
世界を救いに。
Oh, that's a great shot. What a moment. We're all going to save the world. Okay, so that was episode 83 of Attack on Titan. So much happened this episode. You know, this episode, it could have easily just been one episode completely focused on the Connie and Armin conflict around Falco and feeding Falco to the mum. So of course we start off finally seeing Levi again. Hanji has like patched him up a bit, but he's still no good. He can't walk on his own at the moment. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing. Is he like paralyzed, or is he just still recovering? And then there's a scar kind of going across his eye. Has he like lost sight in one of his eyes? The other one seemed okay, so he's not like completely blind, but he's like kind of visually impaired a bit more now. And then we see them, of course, meet with Peak and McGaff. You know, Armin says the only thing he wants to do is take down Zeke, so they are kind of on the same side. They want to take down Zeke, and of course they want to stop the rumbling, stop what Eren is doing. And there was that moment when Peak says to Hanji, "You know more than some of us Marlians, some of the Titans even." That must have been great for Hanji to hear. Hanji knows more about the Titans than the Titans themselves, you know? And then we see some of the kind of internal conflict going on with Connie. Of course, before we saw, you know, he was talking to Falco. Falco was awake, so I was saying, well, once he gets to know Falco a bit, it's going to be even harder for him. And we see that, you know, he's saying, oh, this Falco kid is a good guy, actually. So that just makes it even harder for him to make this decision. And he says at one point, what would Sasha think? And I think, you know, Sasha wouldn't be for this at all. I think she would understand where his feelings are coming from. I think Sasha would be able to kind of talk him out of this, but kind of the grief of losing Sasha as well kind of piled on top of this. He's just had loss after loss after loss. So he finally wants this moment where he can gain something finally, you know? Then we see when Armin gets there, he starts to think, what would Erwin do? And he's showing through action like he was going to sacrifice himself to save Falco. Then of course Connie comes in and saves him. I wasn't expecting anything else. But, you know, Armin's saying, oh, I need to show through action to like be a good leader, which is quite true. But I feel like Armin has always shown through action. You know, in Hero season 3 episode 17, he definitely showed through action there. He was willing to sacrifice his life, just as he was willing to sacrifice his life here. Like, he's willing to do what's needed for the greater good, it seems. And then kind of after all of this, we see Connie say, well, you know, maybe the mum would have suffered more. You know, what would she have thought, like waking up and being like, how am I alive again? And Connie has to say, oh, I fed a child to you. You know, how would she react to that? We never really got to meet her, but I imagine it wouldn't be a good reaction. And then all of the suffering that would come along with her inheriting a Titan, inheriting the Colossal Titan. She would maybe just be used as a weapon by the Jaegerists, perhaps. But I don't know if there would be need for use of her as a weapon at that point, if the entire world had been taken over by the Jaegerists at that point. So maybe it would have been okay, but I don't know. Then we finally find out who took the scarf. It was Louise. That was one of the options I thought it was, but I didn't think she had it because we saw her get saved by Mikasa a few episodes ago and she didn't have it, but okay, it turns out she does. And, you know, it seems Mikasa, she just really doesn't care at this point. She just wanted the scarf and was leaving, you know. Louise was lying there. I don't know if she's like dying. She seems injured at least. Louise was lying there saying about how much she admires Mikasa, and Mikasa just didn't want to hear it. She was just leaving like when Louise was like halfway through her point, you know. But Louise, you know, she is very heavily into the kind of Jaegerist ideology. She was saying she wants to see the free world that Eren is creating. So I think that's also part of the reason, you know. And then we see Jean, he's kind of like helping Flock a bit. We had a little bit of a time jump. It was like a day or two. And I was like, okay, so he's just trying to get in close so he can betray him. But I wasn't expecting it to happen like this episode. It just happened so quick after we see Jean helping with Flock. So it is great to just see everyone reunited and like all working together. Of course, there was that scene when they found Annie again and she's just like sitting on the table next to them, and that was so comedic. That was really funny, actually. It was a great way to just bring her back. I wasn't expecting the reunion to just be so sudden and so funny like that. And then of course there's the scene where we think that Yelena and Onyokapon are going to be executed, and you know, Onyokapon kind of just says it how it is. We're seeing all of these Jaegerists, they just have this really like nationalistic mentality, and he was just straight up calling them out for their xenophobia. You know, there's one thing to be patriotic, to be proud of your country. I think that's kind of where the title Pride comes from for this episode. It's one thing to be patriotic and to be proud of your country, but then they are more like nationalistic, where their pride in their country, it's the kind of for the downfall of everyone else for the sake of their own country. And I know it's a bit more complex than that because of the oppression that they have faced, but it is against the whole world. It's not just against Mali, who are the main ones who oppress them, but then of course there's all of the stuff, you know, the rest of the world were just kind of sitting there letting it happen, you know. They all benefited from what Mali was doing as well. But it's crazy to see, you know, how all of these people can not necessarily be brainwashed, but can suddenly believe into this so quick. We're seeing a real split within the Eldians here, you know, the ones that are the Jaegerists and the ones that aren't. And there's just so many people who have like fallen into this Jaegerist ideology. And, you know, there was a second when I thought Jean was going to be eaten, but of course it turns out that they were all working together, because I was thinking, well, it's Peak. We've seen Peak like store people in her mouth before. So, you know, Onyokapon, Yelena and Jean were all saved by her. It would have made no sense for Jean to like push Flock out of the way and to save Flock. No chance, you know. And then as they're fleeing, we see someone watching on, and I'm trying to figure out who that could be, because I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if that's going to cause problems for them, or if it's just someone like an ally who has seen them leaving. Because Mikasa, Armin, I think Falco and Gabby, they were all on the carts that were going. Magath was there when they had all like met up and rounded up. So I'm really not sure who that could be. I feel like it has to be a Jaegerist. It can't have been Flock, because Flock was still up top and there was loads of Jaegerists there. Maybe it could have been Louise. I can't think of like many other characters that are still alive that kind of aren't accounted for at this point. Yeah, I'm not really sure who that could have been, but you know, there could be a positive. It could be someone seeing them and then going and saying, oh, I'm here to help you. Or it could be, you know, they're bringing the Jaegerists with them. They know where everyone's gone. Then towards the end, there was that gorgeous shot with Jean just like in the like that pond. The reflection and the lighting there was really gorgeous. And he had this great quote: "The burnt ashes of the dead would never forgive me." That was, you know, a great quote just randomly thrown in, given to Jean there. And then the final scene, we see Reiner wakes up. He's surprised to see, you know, Annie's alive suddenly. And then he's there with everyone else, and we get that hero shot. I feel like we had that hero shot before. That wasn't quite a hero shot. It was more melancholy. But this one, it feels like it was a proper hero shot. We're going to save the world. We're going to stop Eren. We're all on the same side now. We're all going to work together and go and save Eren. I'd have been waiting for that, waiting for them all to team up. So it's great to see that finally happening. But this does make me wonder where the season's going to end off now, because I'd assumed it would be at this point, you know, when everyone had like teamed up together, that's when it would end, and it would leave on the cliffhanger of them all going to fight Eren as like, you know, the cliffhanger leading into a movie or like a third part of season 4 or whatever. I know the theory is that there's going to be a movie, right? So I'm wondering where it's going to go now. Maybe we do go and start to fight Eren soon. Maybe it's when they arrive to wherever Eren is that we see that happen, where the season ends, or maybe we get a bit of a fight with Eren and we see how powerful everyone really is, and it all seems a bit hopeless, you know. That's a great way to build some of the suspense, to like have one battle where everyone is just completely demolished and then they have to go back with a new plan, just to show how powerful Eren really is at this point. But the thing is, with Attack on Titan, to show your power, it would involve a lot of killing, so I'm not sure that would happen, because, I mean, I don't know who's getting out of this alive, but I don't know if Eren would kill any of, like, our current team members. I don't know if that would happen. He's saying he's doing what needs to be done, and he's, like, gonna stop at nothing for the freedom. But maybe if something happens and he does kill someone, like, imagine he kills Armin intentionally or unintentionally, that would affect him. But then again, he might already know all of this is going to happen anyway, so he might have already had to, like, come to terms with things like that, you know, if there's the whole memory transfer with the paths and the time travel and everything. So I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, or even subscribe so you keep up to date for all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.